Only 3 left in stock. Offer ends tonight. Join the waitlist. You've seen these 100 times. You've probably ignored most of them. And you've probably still acted on a few.
Today, we're unpacking scarcity. What it actually triggers in the brain, why it still works even when people know it's a tactic, and why it stops working the moment it's caught out as fake.
If you launch products, run promotions, or manage waitlists, this one matters.
Welcome to ThinkShift, the podcast where neuroscience meets business.
Hey, Leanne.
Hey, Clint.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Big week.
I know, it has been a big week.
It's been loving the scarf.
Yes, got my neurodesign scarf
Those
on.
that can see that
Yes.
on the Spotify video or YouTube will see that.
Matches my lipstick. I've got special colour neurodesign lipstick on as well.
Do love
Actually,
it.
it's two colours. I put like a red, sort of plummy red with a pink on it to get the neurodesign coral.
To pop.
To pop.
There you go. Accents.
Don't mind popping.
I do like it. I do like it. So today we're going to be talking about loss aversion, and I just want to go into the science behind scarcity with you. So the brain doesn't weigh a loss and a gain equally. Losing something you could have had feels worse than the pleasure of gaining it. So Leanne, what is loss aversion in plain language?
Yeah, so you're spot on there. So we put twice as much power or attention into losing something than gaining something.
Which is crazy.
It is, and that's just how the brain operates.
Again,
so,
letting me down.
I know,
brain.
letting me down. So yeah, if we think that there's potential for a loss or that we're going to be disadvantaged in a way, because we're quite competitive, we will jump at the opportunity. But if we're going to gain something, we go, oh, okay, that's nice. Like, we want to gain something. I get it. But the brain does not put as much emphasis on it. But if we're going to lose something, and if we're going to lose something, we will spring into action.
Interesting. So why does the urgency change how people think?
That's a little bit different because the urgency is something is limited. So I'm going to miss out. I mean, it's a little bit how, FOMO came out, fear of missing out, which is now actually a cognitive bias. And it's this sense of, well, I'm potentially going to lose, so I better act now so I get an opportunity to get something.
Yeah.
So they're not looking at it as from gaining a potential product or, whatever it is you want to gain. They're not looking at it as a gain. They're looking at a potential missing out at a loss. So we will do whatever we need to do to be able to prevent a loss rather than just get a gain, because a gain isn't significant enough for the brain.
So time pressure pushes the brain toward fast, instinctive decisions. Slow, deliberate thinking needs time. Urgency removes that time. Again, system one thinking, so
Correct.
constantly we refer to that so much.
Yeah, but it's how we operate.
Yeah, it's how we operate.
Yeah.
Why does scarcity signal value at all? Like, that's a real kind of like, it's a trick almost, right?
In a way. And I've fallen for this many times. And in fact, a girlfriend and I, we used to laugh at limited edition because we used to, there's certain things that I've done a lot of travel throughout my career and my life, a lot for work, and I have been fortunate enough to purchase some items and things, in Paris in particular, that were limited edition. And boy, did I let everyone know there was limited edition, right? And not because I'm showing off, I just was literally saying, and as soon as someone says, oh, this is exclusive, there's limited edition, or there's only 5 that are available, all of a sudden it's like, hang on a minute. I really like these. I've got emotional attachment. I don't want to lose it. It's not so much that I want to gain it. I don't want to lose it. And so we up the value and we increase or we artificially inflate.
Brain treats it as quality.
That's right. We artificially inflate the value of this particular item. So it no longer is, say, $10. It's now worth, to me, $30.
And also, if something is running out, other people must want it too, right?
That's exactly 100%.
Yeah.
Only 5 left.
Yeah.
Wow. Even if you said 100 sold out of all, and this is why, a lot of things that are limited edition have, this is number 5 out of 100, or this is 88 out of 100. There's only 100 available, and this is the number that we're at. Technically there's only 12 left. You better get in quickly. Use that. I mean, as long as it's true, it needs to be true. And there's a lot of people that use it, and I've got an example for that, which I'll talk about in a little bit, around using it for good, for evil rather than for good. But other people want it. It's popular. Is there something I'm missing that I should be taking interest in? Now I want it too.
Right. So scarcity doesn't create value, it creates urgency. Mm-hmm. Those are different things, and the brain mixes them up constantly.
Yeah.
Right. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to ThinkShift on all the social channels so you don't miss out on what's coming up next. Leanne, where scarcity shows up in business, let's talk about that now. So scarcity isn't just a checkout trick. It shapes launches, stock messaging, deadlines, waitlists, etc. How does launch timing use scarcity?
So a lot of the time it would be around, in a certain period of time, something's going to be released. It creates a sense of anticipation. We get a bit of a dopamine hit.
Yep.
And this is why in marketing there is, the pre-launch, the launch phase, and some of them can be 12 weeks long or sometimes even longer, depending on what the process is, because we're trying to get that urgency and that consistency out there and get people activated. And that dopamine hit is, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? So then they're primed, anchored, and ready for when the product is ready or the service is ready. So as we get closer, it's like the Uber model where you can see the little car getting closer to the destination or getting closer to where it's picking up. Same thing with a launch. And so that's creation of scarcity makes us, anticipate that outcome.
Right. I see this a lot with online shopping. The urgency of the countdown timer will appear when you go to checkout, available for the next 9 minutes only. And it's like, come on.
But not only that, they take it one step further and actually will add in an offer.
Yeah.
So you've just checked out, you've just paid, and then available for the next 9 minutes is 50% off, da-da-da-da-da. And often it's a product that you've looked at.
Yes.
So vitamin, places like that, they will do. You might be looking at. I'm just making this up, but it might be a multivitamin and then a vitamin B, and I'm just getting the multivitamin, and then all of a sudden we've got 9 minutes, 50% off the vitamin B.
Cheeky buggers.
I know, but it works, right? It works.
Does work.
So it not only is this loss aversion around, well, I'm going to miss out. And scarcity around, well, I've only got 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've got the double whammy. So what do? We put it in our cart and we purchase it.
Is there brand damage to some degree, though, with that as a trade-off?
Yes.
A tiny bit.
It can be.
You're weighing it up against getting the sale, but then adding in a bit of a
there's reputational risk. There's reputational risk.
Yep.
And then there is the consumer, the perception around, well, is this real? Do they do it all the time? Do they just want my money? Why didn't they offer me 50% off prior, to me spending? They wanted to get my order and spend my money before they were going to offer me something.
Yeah, I'd feel duped.
Yeah, why wasn't it available at 50% off earlier?
Yes.
Why is it only now that I've actually placed an order and transacted with you? And the other thing too is making sure that it's right. So and I'm sure you've had this happen. I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers have had this happen where you'll get an email and it's a sale, 24 hours.
Yep.
Fantastic, right? We've got 20% off the entire site for 24 hours. Brilliant. Next day, sale, 24 hours.
Or been extended.
Oh, that annoys me. But even this, hang on a minute, it was 24 hours. We're beyond 24 hours. It's not a sale after all. And so it's used that sense of scarcity initially to try and get people in, and then have lost all credibility because it wasn't real.
So I see this particularly around Black Friday time, Cyber Monday, and it's the pre-Black Friday sale, and it's like a week sooner. And then post-Cyber Monday, it's like the post-Cyber Monday sale. And it's like, oh my God, are we just getting over, is it overwhelmed?
It's oversaturation.
We're just tired of it. And the tactics are becoming thin.
They are. They're becoming predictable.
Yeah.
We can identify them really easily these days. And also it's got to a point now where people are stopping or changing their purchasing habits based on, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where they'll say, oh no, I'll wait until it goes on special, or I'll wait until it. So now it's all around. We're losing the value of the product. It's all, we're just going to wait because it's going to be cheaper.
Yep.
And the intent of the purchase or why we want it is gone out the window, because it's all about, being able, we know that's predictable. We know that that's going to be a little bit cheaper. The other thing that people don't realise, and this happens often in, middle of the year sales and mid-year sales and Christmas sales, is not having the same quality of product. So it might be old stock or or close to expired confectionery or things like that. That is what's going on sale. So what happens is it catching people out with the scarcity tactics and a potential loss aversion. Only 5 left. I better get in so I don't lose it. But then there is a compromise around the quality of the product that you're actually getting, or the service that you're getting around that.
Yeah.
And that tends to be a bit of a side effect. And so we don't put focus on that because we're too busy wanting to concentrate on the sale or missing out.
Also, just touching lightly on this part is that consumers are pretty savvy now. These tactics work until they don't. And one trick, I don't know if you've done this, but I have, was to add something to cart, and then it asks for your email and name and stuff during that process. Pretty standard Shopify, where you have to put in those details to figure out what the shipping is. And so as soon as they've captured that data, so you've got your email, I abandon cart, and then I wait for that email to come in that says, something left in your cart. Here's 20% off to make sure that you buy it. And so for a period of time there, I would just wait. I would just add it to cart, abandon, and wait for that discount code to come in. Have you done that in the past?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's one website in particular, I'm not going to name it, but it is for an online learning platform where you can do little mini courses, and some of them aren't mini, some of them are longer courses. Guaranteed. You go in there, you go to checkout, put your details in, and then you abandon the cart.
Mm-hmm.
To the point now that I will say to people, this particular place does a really good course. However, just register as you're going to check out and then abandon your cart, because you will then get an email saying it is now 50% off.
Yep.
Guaranteed, they do it every single time. So it has totally changed my habit. The thing is that the courses that they have are actually quite good. So it doesn't destroy the reputation for me, but what it makes me think is, what business model are they running for them to be able to afford all of a sudden to drop the price by 50%?
Yeah, that's significant.
And how often do they do this? So how much money are they actually making? So I'm looking at it now from a different sense. I've got a different bias, not around the value, but around reputational risk of the organisation.
Yeah.
Because where are you getting all this money from to be able to afford to provide all these people, because this must happen a lot, a 50% off this particular, course or whatever it is.
I have seen less of it though working. Cart abandonment strategies that consumers using, like the one I just described, it's not working for me near as often as it used to. Businesses have cottoned on. They've seen the abandonment on purpose, and they're changing. So it's like, how do you stay one step ahead from a business perspective from consumers doing that? But on the other side, it's, as a consumer, how do you stay wary of dodgy sales tactics, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, I have an abandoned cart for my course. People can purchase that, obviously enroll and purchase online. But the abandoned cart is, you wanted to be brainy. Or something really quirky that I've got in there. You wanted to be brainy. What happened? But I don't offer anything.
There's no discount.
It's absolutely not. It's a couple of hours later, and there's no discount. I'm not offering anything. It's basically takes you back to where you left off to finish what you had done.
Did you ever get anyone reply to that email and say, Leanne, where's my discount?
No, because
I was waiting.
Yeah. And if they did, we don't discount. We keep our pants pulled all the way up.
You clearly don't know my business at all.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. That's called the law of pulling your pants down.
Yeah.
How dare you? And you know what? You're not suitable for the course.
Yeah, we just scratched you off the list of
that's right.
suitable candidates.
Suitable candidates. That's right,
Absolutely.
because you've got to be qualified to do it too. You can't just rock up and,
Okay, so I've got here about what makes stock messaging effective and where does it fall apart. So only 2 left works because it's specific and checkable.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So the moment someone sees only 2 left for the 3rd week running, the message stops meaning anything,
Well,
right?
that's right.
So you said that last week.
Yeah, but also clearly no one wants it.
That's right.
If you had 2 left last week and now you've got 2 left this week, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
No one wants it. There probably is only 2 that have got left that you're trying to get rid of. Maybe the quality is compromised, or there's room for doubt, and we will create room for doubt even if it's not justified.
Yeah, right. So it's that specificity builds trust. Repetition without change destroys it.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, just be honest.
Yeah.
As honest as you can be.
Another example, and this annoyed me. So I was asked to be on a webinar. It was like last year, actually. I was asked to be on a webinar, and the person that was running the webinar, they wanted me to be on a guest. They wanted obviously to leverage my network, and I wanted to help out. I'm happy to. But then they said to me, when we advertise it, we're going to say that there's only a certain number of spots available. So people need basically using scarcity or potentially loss aversion to get people to register. And I then responded saying, oh, really? There are only 50 spots? Because I'm thinking it's a webinar. It's on Zoom. You can have as many people as you want.
Mm.
And they said, no, of course anyone can come, but it sounds good.
Oh, dear.
And I said, you're lying. You're actually lying.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, but no, not yet, but. And I actually put my foot down and said, if that is the tactic you are going to take, I will not participate in that webinar. And what actually happened? I did not participate in that webinar.
Misleading.
Because I would not be No. And people aren't silly. People aren't silly. If it was a paid event, and, even if it was a small amount and it was a paid event and you could say 50 spots, then it probably would be. But this was open, free event. We don't use the word free, but in this instance it was, at 0 cost. 0 cost on Zoom, as many as you want. Yeah. I'm not going to be part of that.
No,
thank you.
No, thanks. Just to move on to discounts and waitlists now. So why do waitlists work differently to a straight discount?
Yeah, so waitlists, there is a more of a commitment to a waitlist and more effort that needs to go in on both parties. Right. So the party that's creating the waitlist, and then because creating a waitlist does take effort to do, and then also the person that's committing then to go on the wait list. So there's legitimacy, there's a bit of trust, there's authority around that. And in fact, wait lists are a really good it's got to be real, it's got to be authentic, but wait lists are a very, very good tactic and technique to use for pre-launch of a product or a service or, a course or something like that you're doing.
We often use them for testing product market fit.
Right,
so setting up launch and landing pages, and before going ahead and building something, you test the market and join the wait list for this product.
Are you interested?
Are you interested? This is the service, this is what it does, this is the value it's going to create for you, the results you're going to get. Are you interested? And if you get 1,000 signups, you got product market fit.
Yes.
If you don't get any, you're like, oh, well, back to the drawing board. I've now saved myself 6 months of development.
Yeah, and also sunk cost fallacy, right?
Yeah.
I've put all this time, money and effort into it. I'm just going to keep going.
Keep going,
even though we know it's not going to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been there too often now. I've been burnt too many times.
You can watch the sunk cost fallacy episode that we did a couple of weeks ago, right? We talk about a lot of different things that have happened to us and to people that we know and clients.
Let's move on to using scarcity without burning trust. The line between scarcity and manipulation isn't the tactic, it's whether the constraint is real. What is the actual difference between honesty and dishonest scarcity? I know we've talked a little bit about this.
So honest scarcity is real. So
a real constraint.
Real constraint. You have 5 left. You have 5 left. You say you got 5 left, you got 5 left. There's limited spots, 50, it's limited spots. It's limited edition. It needs to be a real, true constraint. Obviously, dishonest scarcity is making it up. Yeah. Yeah, a mold-up pattern.
Mold-up
It
pattern.
could even be moderate. It could even
Yeah.
branch into the moderate category.
Yeah.
But it's being coercive. It's
Manipulating a purchase based on false information.
That's right, false information. It's not factual. It's relying on the quick brain, which is okay, but for the wrong reason.
Okay, so this is what happens to a business once fake urgency gets noticed. The specific offer stops converting. Every future offer from that business gets read with more suspicion, which is probably the worst thing. Trust doesn't reset per campaign it carries forward, and it's far more expensive to rebuild than it was to spend.
Yeah.
So I think they're all...
It is. And we can bring the peak end rule in here too. So the peak end rule is when you have a great experience at the beginning, which you need to have to continue the journey or the experience with a particular vendor, company, product, service. Obviously, if the experience at the beginning doesn't peak, you're not going to go any further. But then the ending needs to be good too.
It's not good.
If it's so we don't take the average of if the peak was great but the end's not good, but all the bit in between was great. We don't take the average. If the beginning was good or the peak was good, we then move on. If the ending was bad, the entire experience was bad. So what happens here is that around dishonesty or dishonest scarcity or using loss aversion in the wrong way, we're actually getting a poor ending, which means reputational risk is really high.
Yeah.
And potentially, what happened with that particular vendor that sent me the 24-hour sale, and then 24 hours later, 24-hour sale, unsubscribe.
Yep.
So for me, that was a bad ending. Even though I had great experience with this particular company before, that particular ending was bad. Peak end rule set in. I'm like, I am never going to buy from you ever again. And so I unsubscribed.
Yeah. And I think TripAdvisor, we brought this up last time, is a great example of this, right? Someone has a fantastic holiday and then one little boo-boo happens in that holiday and suddenly on TripAdvisor, 1 star.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot to bring my room service within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Terrible result.
Yeah, that's right. It's 32 minutes. Yeah, how dare they? Yeah, I'm going to give 1 star. And that's
peak
right.
end.
It is peak end.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's also probably, a little bit, you just need to get over yourself. But it is. But that's the thing.
Absolutely.
One small thing, and people don't realise, and I even clients will say to me, oh, Leanne, it's just one little thing. No, it's not. It's actually not one little thing, because that one little thing turns into something much, much bigger that could then affect the rest of your business. Yeah. And this is where people say, oh, Leanne, you just need to relax around certain things. The peak end and scarcity and what we're talking about here is the reason why I don't relax around certain things, because one small setback can offset a whole chain reaction within your business and how you are perceived in your competence, your confidence, how you treat people, and I just don't have tolerance around that.
Just back on my TripAdvisor example, is that a horn effect right there? Because the bad experience then taints the rest of the good?
Not really.
No, because it's at the end?
Because it's at the end, yeah.
And if it was at the
beginning it would have,
It would have, that's the horn.
Yeah, but that's a really good point, bringing that up.
Yeah, so
the horn
the
is
room service that happened at the start.
Yeah, but also that's right. So it was a great hotel, and then all of a sudden, and you've been put up on a pedestal, and all of a sudden that happens, and then you go, oh, okay, well, clearly they're not as good as what I thought they are. Horn effect, but then you're still in that situation, not going, oh, I'm going to change hotels. Right, that's it, I'm checking out and find somewhere else. You stay there, and all of a sudden then it gets better. That's different.
Okay.
So the horn effect has to, happen at the beginning.
At the beginning. Okay, a good differentiation there. Okay, so I've got a scarcity checklist.
Nice.
Listener out there. Is this constraint real and specific? So we're talking about stock numbers as an example there. Make sure it's real. Make sure it isn't made up. It's not. It's ethical. It's
That's
not
right.
total
And
BS.
if you're doing a webinar and anyone can join, don't say there's only 50 spots.
Yeah, it's totally, absolutely dodgy. Would I be comfortable explaining exactly why it's limited if someone asks? I think that's a good test.
Really good point.
Yeah, because if you can't, if you're like, oh, it feels a bit icky, then obviously there's something not right there.
No, that's right. If you can't explain why it's limited, why it's exclusive, why there's only 5 left, why it's only for 24 hours, then you need to rethink your tactics.
Yeah, 100%. Have we used this exact deadline or stock message before without it being true? And what happens to trust in this offer if someone checks and finds out it's fake?
Yep.
It's the last one there. So scarcity is a tool for describing a real constraint. Clearly, it's not a tool for inventing one. Make sure you are legit and trustworthy at all times.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the shift. Scarcity works because losing a chance feels worse than gaining a benefit. That's real and it's not going away. But scarcity only works while it's true. The first fake deadline might convert. The 10th one trains your audience to ignore you completely. The better question isn't how do we create urgency, it's what's actually true about this offer and are we willing to say it plainly? One action for the listener this week, look at your last 3 launches, promotions, or stock messages. For each one, ask if the constraint was real and if you could defend it if a customer asked. Fix or drop the one that couldn't survive that question. And that's ThinkShift. I'm Clint.
I'm Leanne.
One idea, one shift in under 30 minutes. If this episode changed how you think, share it with someone who makes decisions for a living.
And don't forget to follow ThinkShift on all the social platforms, like and subscribe so you don't miss what shift is coming up next.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
For now.
This is a March Made Media production.